the upcoming month, you will see a new interface on the web page, which hopefully will help you for matchmaking between actors. This is mainly targeted at Work Package 3, and I will briefly give you an overview of what to expect. In the past month, you have entered already a lot of data into the system, and I was quite happy when I counted this morning, and I saw that we already have over 60 clusters in the system. We have over 60 cluster value chains, and we have over 600 individual actors that you have described in the system. In addition to that, we should certainly not forget about the descriptors that you have provided for some of the actors, very detailed descriptors about inputs, processes and outputs. And here we already have 400 in total. Around 80 of those are potential new value chains commercial, and another 80, more or less, are potential new value chains non-commercial. Now, our algorithm wants to make use of all this data. How can we do that? In the new interface, what you will see is the possibility to select two actors and link them together. Such a link is a potential new value chain. Maybe you have found it in our database, maybe you have a spontaneous idea, but in any case, this initial link has to be established manually by an expert. So this is basically a link you want to try. You would like to call the two actors and ask them if they are interested to collaborate together and to create this new value chain. However, often, even the past experience has shown that the actors might not actually be interested to do that for various reasons. So instead of giving up in this particular idea, this is where the new value chain generator comes into place. What you can do is now select one of the two actors and try to find an alternative, a substitute from our database. The system will calculate the similarity to other actors and try to present you with a few viable alternatives. So maybe instead of actor A, you could also have actor B or C or D. Why? Well, maybe they have the same NACE code. They are active in they have the same main category. They are not so far away from actor A, so these might all be criteria that are important to you that you can also select as filters in this interface in order to narrow down the potential new candidates to establish this link. Afterwards, in the normal map view that you know from the interface, you can click on the actors of interest, you can follow them, you can see what are they about, maybe contact a cluster manager, have a look at the website, have a look at the tools that you know to inspect companies, for in the end really to come up with a few hot candidates where you believe this could be a hit. And then you can continue to call them and try to establish this link. So this interface is almost ready. Damien has been working on it in the past month, and we plan to release it mid-September. So have a look, play around with the tool, and as always, send us feedback as soon as you see something that does not work. If you have a new idea, if it's small enough, we will try to implement it as soon as possible for you to help you find matches for your actors. In the future, we still have some months left of work. We will, of course, try to improve this interface according to our discussions, but also we plan to add an additional interface. I would like to introduce you to this interface quite briefly. The final interface will be focused on the descriptors of the actors. From the beginning of the project, the lead partner has always underlined how important these descriptors are, and we would like to use them even further. So instead of selecting two actors in the interface, we will provide you with a tool for just one actor. One actor where you have specifically defined the inputs and the outputs. Starting from that, we will browse the database and we will search for you potential new actors that might be interested in a specific output or that might provide you a specific input. In the end, what you will end up with is again potential new value chains with these new actors based on the products and also based on filters that you can choose. Again, it can be NACE codes, it can be regions, and it can also be steps in a cluster value chain if you're specifically looking from one step to the next in the cluster value chain. What kind of actors do I have in the database? What kind of outputs and inputs do they have? And how can I link them together? In the end, we believe these automatic suggestions, they have a high potential not only to find, let's say, 5 or 10 new value chains, but indeed we are thinking more about hundreds and thousands. Why? Imagine a chain of 3 actors, actor A, actor B, and actor C. We are now able to provide potential alternatives for actor A, for B, and for C. If we find 10 viable alternatives for each of them, a little bit of combinatorics will show us that potential path from A to C will be 10 times 10 times 10 actors. So we will end up with 1,000 potential new value chains. Of course, you cannot give a phone call to all of them, but this is where the system will try to make some smart suggestions, and you will also have the possibility to select filters for the cases where you know, for example, the distance of the other actor cannot be more than 100 kilometers, or I'm specifically looking for an actor in a region. All of this will help you to narrow down the large amount of possibilities to a few interesting, viable ones. And we keep all our fingers crossed that a lot of these matches will actually work out. After the project and all the experiences that we have gathered together, I'm sure that this tool can turn out to be a very interesting tool for the cluster manager to provide new services to their members.